Hello, today we're going to be making some homemade French bread. It's all basic ingredients and fairly easy to do, so we thought we'd just throw a video together real quick and show you what it is we're doing here. So basically, we're going to get the yeast going. It's going to take 1 tablespoon of sugar. Pour it in the bowl, and we actually use any of the basic dry yeast. This is the Fishman's active dry yeast. 2 packages. Pour it in there. Next thing we do is, this is our little secret. We use milk instead of water. The milk has been warmed. And just want to check the temperature here. You don't want to make it too hot, because anything over like 125, 130 degrees will kill the yeast. So we want it in the 120. We want to get it like 120 degrees, which is just about going on there right now. And we're going to pour that in with the sugar and the yeast. We use 2 cups of regular milk. And give it a light stirring. Mix it around the sugar, let it dissolve in there in the yeast. Okay, we're gonna let that sit for approximately 10 minutes to let it fluff up and get ready. While that's getting ready, we're gonna get some of the other ingredients ready, and we'll be right back. Okay, we're back. The yeast has been sitting for a while, close to 10 minutes now. You can see the froth on it. It's almost just about ready. So what we did, we got some Pillsbury all-purpose flour, 5.5 cups flour. We just put it into the mixer, and a little bit of salt, 1 teaspoon of salt. Just made it. I'm almost out of salt. You just sprinkle it in there in the flour, and a lot of people put it into the yeast mixture. That's really not what you want to do, because the salt actually kills the yeast. So you just want to mix it into the flour. Pour it into the flour and mix it. You don't want to kill the yeast before it's, you can use it. So you just mix it up a little bit there. And we are going to take the yeast now, and we're going to pour it directly into the bowl with the flour. Okay. And just mix it up a little bit. It tends to, you can see how it's frothed up. And sometimes stick to the sides, so we just want to make sure it's pour it all in, right in all at one time. And what I'm going to do, this mixer itself is really not for doing the bread, though it's really for other things, Sunbeam Mixmaster, but it comes in really handy. I mean, it's very simple to use. Go up on top, and as it's spinning around the edge, I just keep pushing the flour into the forks. You can see it's already starting to mix up. It's just a little bit to get it started. I mean, you will still have to do it by hand as always to finish it up. And that's not what I wanted to do. Okay, it's starting to get a little chunky. So we use vegetable oil. Pardon my dog in the background for barking. Got 1/4 cup of vegetable oil. I'm going to put more most of it into the mixture now. Keep it moist so it can finish mixing up. It's just about probably as far as I can take it with this mixture. So we will shut it off. And let me open that up. And at this point we will be finishing it by hand. Yeah, so that actually looks pretty good now. So we're gonna finish it by hand. And you just wanna, like with any dough when you're making bread or pizza or anything, mix it, but you don't want to do it forever. You don't want to beat it too bad because it tends not to fluff up in everything later on. It's a little dry yet, so I'm going to put a little more oil in there. Okay, let me switch it to a bigger bowl now. And basically what you want to do is just keep turning it in the edges, kneading it to a ball. You don't want to overdo it. Use up all the flour. It's a little sticky yet. That's really what you want. You want it just a tiny bit sticky, but not where it's like pulling apart. And basically we're going to do that. We're going to leave it in the ball right there. We're going to cover it up with the towel. And I'm going to put it in a nice warm place just next to the stove on the other counter while I clean this mess up. And basically we're just going to let it sit in the bowl for roughly an hour, hour and a half until it kind of doubles in size. It fluffs up and doubles in size, and we'll be back then. Okay, we're back. So you can see the dough is risen. It's been sitting for a while. I'm taking a little bit of margarine on our baking pan. Our baking pan is approximately 15 inches by 21 inches across. I just take a little dab of margarine, butter. I just throw it in the pan and I just grease the whole bottom of the pan. I got the paper towel just to hold the butter. It makes it a little bit easier and less messy. So I could normally get like 3 loaves of French bread in there. Once it's greased, I still take a little bit of cornmeal. Just sprinkle a dab across there. Doesn't take much. And we're going to switch positions here. There's our dough. You've seen what it looked like when it was hot. Much bigger. Smaller, I'm sorry. Basically, we're just going to form it into a ball. I'm going to take a knife and probably going to cut 3 sections in here. 3 equal, pretty much equal sections here. Sprinkle down a little more flour. A lot of people will use a rolling pin to roll it out. If you got the space, you don't even need to do that. Just form it to a cylinder type shape. Just roll it on the counter. Roll it with your hands. And as you're rolling, you want to kind of just pull it out, stretch it. Just keep rolling and stretching as you go. Basically, try to go, you know, if it's not getting too small, go as long as the pan. It all depends on how much you made, how far it goes. But I pull it like that, and then I will lay the first loaf right there. And we'll do that with all three loaves. Just roll it back in the flour. Doesn't take long, it doesn't have to be perfect. We're not a supermarket, we're not selling them. It's just for your own consumption, and it's really easy to do. It does not take long at all. And I will take and put that one in the center. A little more flour down. Don't be concerned with, you know, it doesn't look like it's, you know, as large as most French bread, because it will, as it's cooking, it will rise again. And again, this baking pan is approximately 15 inches by 21. So right now, that's it. It's all rolled out. It's all ready to go. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to lay it on someplace warm. I'm going to lay it on we're by the stove, the other countertop, and just let it'll rise again a little bit. The air bubbles inside from the yeast, it'll rise a little bit again. I'll probably let it sit for maybe another 45 minutes before I put it in the oven. So for now, it's done. And about 45 minutes from now, I'll be back and we'll put it in the oven and we'll take the next steps. Okay, so we're back. Put the bread in the oven now. So it's been sitting here. You can tell it raised up a little bit, got a little fluffy. So I preheated the oven. We got it at 400 degrees. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a knife, a sharp knife. Some people use the scissors. Just going to put a few slits. Let me get a different knife. I'm sorry. I put a few slits across the bread. You don't want to go deep. You just want to kind of break the surface. Kind of helps, believe it or not, helps the bread like stay even, keep it even, and okay. And then what I'm going to do is I got my yard, my grill brush, basting brush here. Let's take some hot water. Just go across the surface of the bread. Just paint it on. You want to make it a little moist with the hot water. I'm taking it right from the sink. It's not boiling hot. It's just hot. Make it damp. And what this is going to do, this is going to help get you a crispy crust. Make it, you know, turn it brown, golden brown. And it's ready to go. Like I said, I preheated the oven to 400 degrees. And I got 2 shelves in the oven. Lower shelf and center shelf. I'm taking a tray with a little bit of water in there. And I'm putting that on the lower shelf. That's just to help, as it gets hot, the steam come out. And it's going to help give us that golden brown and crispy crust also. And I just put the bread in there. We're going to leave it at 400 degrees for approximately 30 minutes, maybe 35 minutes. So we'll be back when we're ready to pull it out. Okay, we're back now. Checking on the bread. It has been in here 35 minutes, and I do believe it looks good to me. It looks done. So, there are 3 loaves. I'm taking those out. Shut the oven off. that's really it. So 35 minutes of baking time. It's got a nice crust to it. I am going to take it off. Take it off the hot tray and put it on the wire racks right now. And you can see how, you know, it start sticking to the bottom because of the oil and the cornmeal I put down. Take it off the hot tray, put it on the wire rack for the time being to cool off. Give you a close-up view right now of our bread is done. It's got a very nice crust to it. Well, actually, it's still hot. I should be letting it cool, but to show you a nice crust, nice soft fluffy inside, and as I says, it is very hot. So there it is. That's our French bread recipe. Give it a try. I'm telling you, it's really great. Have a great day.